Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So I think this video is going out on Saturday. First thing, Merry Christmas, one and all. Merry Christmas. If it's not, boy, have I screwed that up. No, I'm gonna definitely put it out on Sunday, December 25th. So Merry Christmas, everybody. This will also be the 8th night of Hanukkah, the culmination of the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah. So it's nice that we have a little bit of synergy. So moving on. It's been a bit of a good year for Blake 7, in my opinion. I think it's been a very strong year for Blake 7. Now, I really like the stuff that Big Finish were doing with Blake 7. I think how they dealt with the death of basically everybody is very clever. I don't know how sustainable it is, but this year we've seen the second season of 3 box sets of Beyond, or the Worlds of Blake 7, which I feel much more successful than the first. And now we got these novelizations of season 1 coming up, which breaks my heart, but it's too rich for my blood, right? The shipping for it is going to be like, if I were to buy this in dollars, it'll come out to about $175 for 7 books. I can't justify it, even though they sound absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, that's what we're talking about in this video. We're having a look back and a look forward at Blake 7. I honestly, I think it's in a pretty good state. I just hope these books, these novelizations, they're putting out as books on tapes as well, because boy, it's just too expensive. I say that in this video. So anyhow, I was joined last night on my live stream by the wonderful Dan Hadley of the Spacebook Podcast. His channel is in the video notes. Please subscribe to his channel. It's a great channel, right? It's I would say we do different things on that channel. I say whatever the hell I like, which is normally like my goal. My hope is people will often spit out their coffee and laugh. Right? That's really what. If I do that and somebody spat their coffee all over the screen, I feel like I've done my job in life. Right? Thank you very much. Dan does something different. His channel is like a genuine safe space for everyone, right? It's a really great channel. I love his Thursday night Doctor Who stream. He has a great panel. So anyway, I was fortunate enough to have him join us last night. So we talked about initially we started off at these novelizations, which again, oh my god, they're gorgeous. Big Finish, they are freaking gorgeous. Maybe you can do them and print on demand in softback when after you finish the initial 15,000, right? Oh, it's so good. Yeah, and then that went into a conversation about we looked at the back at Big Finish over this year, at Blake 7 on Big Finish over this year. And I tell you, it's been very good. We do talk a little bit about Doctor Who in this as well. I'm in the middle of listening to the War Doctor Begins Volume 4, and it's brilliant. Okay, if you like Doctor Who or the War, it's really good. If you haven't heard any of them, this is a good one to start on, right? So that's a bit of an aside. So anyway, I think a reasonably strong year for Big Finish, Blake 7, and I think hopefully we've got another strong year coming up. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things are good. Sign up to my Substack. My Substack is my email newsletter. I've been putting out the old Blake 7 comic strips. I should carry on doing that. They were fun. I like that. And I put out a bunch of other stuff. Basically, it's so you know where all my content is. And where to find it. So follow me on Substack. It's in the video. Just sign up to that. There's a paid version. You can do that too. I ain't gonna stop you. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack, Instagram, Twitter. Follow me on everything. And Elon. Assuming that Twitter doesn't go bankrupt, can we get Twitter blue in Israel? Because I will be doing so much more content on that. He wants to make it a video platform. Okay. I'm on board for that, Elon. Just give me some Twitter blue, baby. I would pay for that in a heartbeat. So anyway, like, share, subscribe, comment, Twitter, Instagram, Substack, all those things. All those things are good, but I think better than all those things put together is, of course, the wonderful Blake 7 I spoke about last night. Let me hand over to me and Dan from last night.
What do you make of this latest thing then from Big Finish?
Okay, it's just too rich for my blood, right? I did this.
Me too.
With shipping, it comes out as $175. It sounds awesome. I hope they do books on tape with them. If they do these as books on tape, I'll buy them without blinking. I mean, absolutely.
That'd be an easier sell.
So they probably won't. It sounds. I so want to get this. Let me read this out. Sounds incredible. Big Finish announces Blake 7 novelization box set. Maybe they're going to sell them individually, right? Because right now it comes out at.
I bet they fucking won't.
I bet they won't either, right? Right now it comes out at what was it, $175? It's 7 volumes, about $40 each, which is like, yeah, no, I can't do $40 each. I mean, that's just crazy. I could do like, 15, that absolute maximum. Like, I will do the $99, but then you add in the shipping. I can't do it. The complete first season of Terry Nation Sci-Fi Classic Adventures will be published as a collection of brand new hardback novelizations, and the way they're doing them is so clever, right? Blake 7 debuted in BBC television in 1978 with the development of a cult following of fans eager to enjoy the exploits of Roger Blake and his gang of rebels in their battle against the sinister Federation. The trouble was, it never looked that good, right? It was always just a bit embarrassing. Great ideas. So now, for the first time, the original episodes have been adapted to the full-length books featuring lavish photos. Oh, you're kidding me! And artwork, and released as a single box set limited to just 1,500 copies. So want this, man. Oh! Blake 7 Origins is due for publication on 27th of March, 2023, marking 45 years since the original broadcast of the first episode. The set of 7 is now available pre-order for £99 plus postage and packing exclusively here. So I'm like, I'm not interested, right? I'm not interested. And then they say, who's writing them? Way back in space with Paul Cornell. Now, Paul Cornell, well-known douchebag. Nobody likes Paul Cornell. Boy knows how to write, right? The boy knows how to write.
Yes, sadly, undeniably, the man is a good writer. And yeah, I don't think he's written anything Doctor Who related for quite a time now, is he? So this is a bit of a coup.
Yeah. Listen, I think he's. Does he strike as being that busy? I don't know.
Well, he's always got those. Always got Kickstarter comics on the go. To be fair to him, he did have a really good stint at Marvel when he was working on Captain Britain and MI13, which has been a long time ago now.
Years ago, and I've read those comics. I'm read all the crap. The comic book work I found, generally speaking, very bad. His novel's excellent, right? Absolutely excellent. But the comic book I've never found engaging at all. So he's doing way back in Spacefall. Then we got Mark Platt on Cygnus Alpha Time Squad. I mean, really? Gary Russell on Web, Seek, Locate, Destroy. I bet that's going to be good. Jacqueline Reiner on Mission to Destiny and Jules. Stephen Cole. I mean, these are all the greatest hits, right? Project Avalon Breakdown. Bounty and Deliverance by comic, and Aurak Redemption by James Goss. Oh, fuck me. Oh, I want these so badly.
The great writers.
Producer and commissioning editor Peter Andrews said, wonderful writers bring their talent, imagination, and wit to these novelizations. I bet they do. With each of them already impressive track records as novelists, not to mention the wide range of other writing in prose and other media. Why don't they get Kate Allman to write one? Her thing comes out next month, right?
You know what? And this is God. Hey, I think Kate Allman is. I can't see her being interested in something like this. I think she's far too cerebral, far too creative. I don't
know. Have you read a Blake 7 fanfic?
No.
It's brilliant.
Oh no, I didn't realize there was.
Okay. She's written some really good bits of Blake 7.
I mean, I can believe it, but I can't. You see, with these writers, all of whom I rate, right? I know that the majority of them are Blake 7 fans, and so they're the names I would have expected to see there, and I can see that they would get a personal thrill out of doing this, and the end product will be absolutely of quality for the readers out there. I'm not a reader, so I haven't really got any interest in this, but for readers out there, they're going to get a good read. But I can see somebody like Kate Allman wanted.
I would read these. I think.
Yeah, I see them, and being a big Blake 7 fan, I want to support everything that's Blake 7. But if I'm honest, that would end up still wrapped in itself. It'd be a really attractive, very expensive thing that I would have on my shelf for a long time. That would be, and that would be.
I would probably get through about the first 10 pages of the first book.
Yeah. It's I'm happy that these exist, or that they're going to exist, and you can bet they're going to do the other 3 seasons as well if these sell, and they will sell at this business model. They wouldn't sell individually, I don't think, because people would buy the first one to sample them, then forget about the rest. But what they're guaranteeing on the completist with this, knowing that people will buy these because they're a limited number. It's the full season. Blake 7 fans are still a little bit starved of new material. It's a show that's been over for 40 odd years, and Blake 7 fans too tend to be how I've found. They are, and also, mate, I think that generally speaking, I'm the minority in that I'm a Blake 7 fan who isn't a reader. I think most Blake 7 fans are into literary sci-fi in a way that I'm not. And so these should do really well. And I would expect they'll probably cover the entire series in due course.
I mean, I can't imagine they won't sell out quickly. Yeah. I mean, it's like 1,500 seems like a really reasonable print run. But again, it looks gorgeous. The price. I mean, I don't know how much shipping is in the UK. To me, it's like the shipping is £50, which is crazy.
Somebody did tell me how much it was, and I can't remember. It wasn't cheap, but
I imagine it's probably at least £10-15.
Yeah, I would imagine if you've got £100 to throw down on this set of books, then you're not going to turn your nose up at what they're asking there. But internationally, it'll probably make it cost prohibitive.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. So unlike Wizards, so let's read producer and commissioning editor Peter Angelis. By the way, their box sets right now have been fantastic. Also, the War Master box set is off the charts awesome. This one is if you haven't got any of them so far, this is the one to get. It's not even one to try out. John Hurt. Yeah, it's Jonathan Carey. It is so good.
I noticed you put out a couple of reviews of them, so I'm way behind in listening. In fact, I've barely listened to anything this year. Come to think of it, to my shame.
There's been a lot. I mean, the War Master one that just came out, and this War Doctor one is so good. It's basically. Have you ever seen Apocalypse Now?
No.
No, you haven't?
No, believe it or not, I haven't.
Oh man, you've got to watch Apocalypse Now.
This is one of those movies that's in my collection, that's on my list of films to see before one snuffs it. It's that kind of film, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. So it's basically that. So look, the Doctor is recruited to go and assassinate this Time Lord that's gone rogue and is like killing too many Daleks and Time Lords. He's like an unstable factor, right? Yeah. And the Daleks are like it's also like the Doctor's last story ever. So it's like everybody's like falling apart and dying around him. So it's that's basically how they're writing it. But the so again, so far, so at the middle of the second one, this is a mild spoiler. But again, it's beat for beat from Apocalypse Now. So I don't feel I'm spoiling it because they're so closely following it. He gets a message that he's not the first person to get this mission. That first they gave this mission to the Master. And he's vanished.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's
really cool.
You know, just to remind me. Well, you know what? I'd love to know what. Yeah. I know you've done these before, and I'm not saying you should do this. So don't do this and blame me afterwards. Right. But I would love to know what the Rabbi from another planet would deem as, say, the 50 films. The 50 films that we would have to see before we leave this mortal coil. That's just something to play with at a later date. Maybe we should do that on a show or something. But I would love to know what you would pick, whether that would be in there or whatever.
That's a great idea.
I'm not saying you should do it. I'm not, because I know that the last time you started one of those series for Lessons for Life, you ended up tearing your hair out over
I'm still doing that. Oh, right now I'm doing that because I'm putting candles on my videos over Hanukkah, so I got to work out what's going out which day, right?
Oh.
Colin Archer asked, have either of you ever heard the Caldor City audios? They're brilliant. I'm not saying that one character is Avon, but he's totally Avon. Castle Largo is Avon, okay? It's a really good spin-off of Caldor City.
Those are the Chris Boucher ones, aren't they? I've never heard those.
Yeah, they're really good. They're really, really, really good. Rumble's recommending my channel. Go for it, Rumble, right? where
Rumble. I started up a Rumble account. God, nearly a year ago now. I can't figure out the user interface. It's so tricky. None of it makes any logical sense.
That's his drawback. It's not as good as YouTube, right? Its drawback is it's not good. So anyway, I just want to answer Fractal Machine. Yes, I'm from Karney Shomron. If you're local, come say hello. Okay, come for Shabbos. I was just going over Christmas dinner. What do you do for Christmas dinner?
What do I do for Christmas? I'm going to my mother's this year. My brother and my mother, they live together just a short distance away from me. So I'm going down to them for that. And then I've got my kids coming up. Actually, I think my kids are coming up in the evening this year rather than the morning. So yeah, it's going to be sort of divided into two. So I'll be spending half of it with the folks as a dutiful son, and the other half as the stern father.
There you go. Okay, well, where do you have your turkey? Both or neither?
I'll be having my main meal down with my mother, but obviously I'm a vegetarian, so I won't be eating turkey.
But right now, this is the best time to be vegetarian ever in the history of humanity.
Oh,
right?
without doubt.
It's correct. I mean, like, because Jews aren't allowed to mix meat and milk together, so we can't have cheeseburgers. This new fake meat is incredible. It just tastes like meat to me. Like the new fake hot dogs taste like hot dogs.
They taste so much like meat, it freaks me out. I mean, and they have done. That's been the case for quite a while. I've been a vegetarian for 32 years.
Yeah.
Since I was a kid, since I was a teenager, I've been a vegetarian. And when I first went vegetarian, the veggie food tasted nothing like meat. And it
I know.
Now it does taste almost exactly to the point where I think, oh no, some of it's too good.
Don't get me wrong. This is all Bill Gates' plan to subjugate and control you. Okay, don't eat it. Right? I have a religious thing. He's a vegetarian. Right? That's just
right.
That's it. But I'm working out well for me. So but you can do stuffing and there's turkey.
Yeah. I have everything except the meat, and there are so many. Great substitutes. The idea that you need meat in your diet is I don't think anybody believes that anymore, do they?
Okay, actually no. You want to know something really weird? I went about a year without eating meat, and after about 3, and it was not for ethical reasons. I'm perfectly okay with experimenting on animals. That's fine.
Oh, so am I. Incidentally, yeah, so am I.
It was a health thing. Oh, that worked out. It was reasonable. It was interesting. But after about 3 months, there are these bacteria that live in your stomach, right? That eat meat, and they die out. And when they die out, you no longer have a craving for meat. It's the weirdest thing, but that's basically how it works.
I'd not heard that before, but it does make sense with what I do know about nutrition.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, let's get back to these books. Wrap this up. Unlike conventional novelization, which tend to be written before the show or the movie has aired or has been completed, these are well-informed with reference material 45 years of the show and inventive of the author. They are big fans of the show. They're very much Blake 7, but it's the only unique collection. I want this so badly. Can you please do them as books on tape? Right? It's double the price to ship, mate. It's double the price.
Well, this is why I was so surprised to see these appear, because BBC Audio have put out audiobooks of the original Terry Nation book, certainly the first, the Blake 7, and then the sequel book, Cygnus Out. Is it called Cygnus Out? Project Avalon. They've put those out because I think Gareth Thomas may have read both of them, come to think of it. So those books already existed. I was really surprised to see them do this.
I mean, honestly, I think the Blake 7 race has been excellent recently. This last batch, I haven't listened to the new one yet, but the last one was fantastic, right? Absolutely fantastic. We'll go into that after this. And so they're really on a roll. I don't know how much beyond the TV shows they can do. I think they could probably do another few seasons of it.
I think we can see that the stuff with Blake 7 is finite. Certainly to the model that they've got at the present.
This is something they could sell. Books on tape of these would sell.
I mean, personally, I would not read these if I'm going to experience those Blake 7 episodes, I will just go and watch Blake 7.
No, but I would want to experience these because I think it's going to be through a different vision, right? It's like, have you ever read the Red Wolf books?
Yes.
So it's like that. They're like the episodes, but they're mangled together, and they come out with they tell
remix, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to get over here. I don't think we're getting like Terrence Dicks by the numbers novelizations.
You got to throw down 100 quid to find out.
Yeah. Again, books on tape, right? The Nathan State was very helpful. Allowed us to see the original drafts written by Terry Nathan for some hand annotated to reference this as origins. I'll tell you, if they do books on tape, it's not been for years, right? Of the TV show, and then if I buy them, we guarantee they'll bring them out as books and tape the week later. Right, yep. You absolutely know, and if you don't, they never will ever again. And this is your one opportunity to get. Oh, it's killing me. When appropriate, we're staying faithful to the original series. For example, some draft scripts feature characters Arco Trent and Brel Klein who make it to Unto the Liberator, but spoiler alert, they won't be escaping Cygnus Alpha in our novels. However, along with BBC filming, camera, and rehearsal scripts, and these early drafts have also informed the brand new novels for these 13 episodes of that first season, with Redemption and the conclusion of Terry Nathan's original 14 story run. It's the first time that any of the second season has been novelized. They're doing Redemption. Oh yeah, fine. So premium back, yeah, it looks lovely, but man, I can't. That is too rich for my blood, which breaks my heart because I absolutely love this.
So I'm all for any new Blake 7 product. I'm glad it exists. Always will be. I'll always support it morally, even if I can't financially. I just hope they find their audience with this.
I can't imagine they wouldn't, right? So I haven't listened to this yet. But where's the so they basically break this down into 3 box sets a season, right? So their first box set, their first season weren't the best. They were definitely fine. Avalon is just a real miss of an opportunity. Her character is bland as anything, and you don't really care. Then of the next 3, Terra Nostra, Babe in the Bush, and the Clone Masters. Babe in the Bush is disappointing. Clone Masters is excellent, and Terra Nostra is forgettable. But it's okay. But they that's how they look. I was initially very, very excited by the idea of the Avalon project. In my view, and this is, if you remember, I interviewed John Ainsworth back on my channel over 2 years ago now, when they were putting all of this together, and he couldn't confirm the actual products themselves, but he did tell me, he described it as they were looking at Blake 7 as we knew it as being Star Trek The Next Generation, and that they were going to develop a series of audios that were going to be the equivalent of a Deep Space Nine, so sort of a series that would run parallel to the main show. And I think he delivered that. I think that stands there. But to me, what they really need is something that's ongoing at the same time too, and a character like Avalon leading up a parallel sister show would be viable to me. I think that's something that they should. If it wasn't Dulles Ditchwater, right? Yeah. There was nothing about the character anybody knew, and they could have made her into it could have been like a Game of Thrones. It could have been like what Andor wanted to be. It could have been really like an interesting show with its own identity, right? That lived in its own
exactly
universe.
Like that. Yeah, I agree completely.
Right, and they just blew it. Honestly, I think they blew it because I don't think they had the best writing talent. Let's have a look.
There are certain characters in the history of Blake 7 that really stand out.
No, they have good writers for this, and it's just very bland. Okay, it's just very, very bland. The only life in this is when you get the original Blake 7 character. So like when Baben appears in this, he's awesome, right? He's fantastic. But just the main character, the Avalon, is bland. And so this do you think that their casting is the problem with some of these, that they're not particularly inspired choices? I just think this. I don't know what they were thinking with the Avalon one. They weren't didn't feel free enough. I think
they weren't bold enough. They weren't distinctive enough.
Right. And it was it just didn't work. It just wasn't good enough. That's the bottom line. Just wasn't good. Clone Masters was excellent, though. Right? Then next week, Clone Masters excellent. Babe and the Butcher, very disappointing. Terranos is forgettable. But that was their first 2 seasons. That was their first run. So now we're on to their second season. It's less releases, but it's been very good. So Heroes and Villains has had it's a very good.
Yeah, you told me about this on the last show. Come to think of it, yeah, I haven't heard any of these at all.
Yeah, so again, you got a great one that shows you how. I love that character from what's the name of that episode?
Rumors of Death.
Rumors of Death. Right, everybody talks to Shrinker. Right, that's so good. Right, deal with Dorian, also excellent, and the Armageddon Queen. It wasn't so great for me because I couldn't remember the character. Right, I had to go back and watch it. But that's it. Both it was good. But then this one, After the War, this was freaking awesome. Right, this first one, the first story is. This is the free one they give out. The first story is Travis's story betraying humanity. And it's so good. Andromeda 1. It's such a good story. It feels really organically Blake 7.
Is it
this
Peter
really
Anglet? That I can never pronounce his name. Peter Anglides. He's taken over the range from John Ainsworth now, isn't he? He's the main Blake 7 guy there. So maybe it's him. Maybe I know that John had ideas about where to take it. But I think he viewed himself as not as a caretaker as such, but that he'd been on Blake 7 for a while, and that it's something that he had mixed feelings about continuing, and he was very tentative in how he was doing it. So maybe Peter's taken over and has some more strident ideas.
All these are stronger. I wish they would use Michael Keating more. These are all mainly Sally Kinvet and Jan Chappell. But still, these are 3 excellent stories. Like Fallout is the weakest one. It's Jenna right after the war when she's on this planet. And there's a Federation there, but they have this uneasy alliance with they go into like who the aliens were that attacked them. Right? So that was a good little story. And then you find that it continues. It's a very good one where Callie is lured into a trap by the same alien goes through. So this was excellent, right? I haven't listened to the new one yet, but it just came out, so I looking forward to that. It's been very good. So like this Blake 7 stuff, man, I hope they make books on tape out of them because I bet they're very good. Wish I could have.
It's a sad sort of reality, isn't it? When you look at this range sort of gradually continuing, as I say, quite tentatively maybe, but it's definitely pushing on. And you do wonder, did they ever speak to Chris Boucher about this? Because he'd worked for Big Finish. He's only just died. You'd have thought.
Oh, we should read his obituary. It just came out, right? Let's have a look. I've been meaning to get to this. So Chris Boucher obituary, writer and script editor for that lent dramatic complexity to Blake 7. Absolutely correct. It really did. He absolutely lent dramatic. That's the best description. Like you had the basic setup by Terry Nason, but the dramatic complexity, right? Yes, I would say that's his take on it. What would you say?
Terry Nation was a very dynamic writer, wasn't he? And he had he was a populist, whereas I think that Chris Boucher was also a populist in many respects. He wrote for some of the most popular shows on British TV very effectively, stuff like Bergerac and whatever else. Right. But he was he understood drama, I think, in a way that I don't think Terry Nation ever really did.
Oh, look who wrote this. Toby Hidoki.
Oh, I don't know why I'm surprised, but yeah. I think he's the go-to guy.
Right, how perfect. Fine, so let's read the obituary. Chris Boucher, who died age 79, was a writer and script editor for many of the popular TV dramas in the 70s and 80s, and one of the most with a particular aptitude for science fiction. Absolutely. Having made his mark on Doctor Who in 1977, he was recruited the following year as script editor of Blake 7. Terry Nason's series about a gang of outlaws fighting a corrupt federation basically it's the talks about today, right? Responsible for commissioning then the polished scripts. Boucher capitalized on The bristling dynamic between the central characters was highlighted by his gift for acoustic dialogue and exploited the program's morally grey areas to give dramatic complexity. I loved his episodes. They were all excellent. Didn't he write Gambit, or was that Robert Holmes?
Robert Holmes wrote Gambit, yeah, but Chris Boucher wrote most of the most memorable. I mean, City on the Edge of Forever, that was one of Boucher's.
You're right.
Rumours of Death, I think, was another one of his. But he was there right the way through, wasn't he?
Great one. Anyway. Among the scripts he wrote himself was a shocking 1981 finale. Yeah. Man, that was a kick in the balls to all 11-year-olds, I tell you. Whoa, what happened there? In which he killed off the whole cast in a manner. Well, they were going to bring them back. They didn't know it was a final episode. It meant emblacking of the source, flawed protagonist, downward outlook, and an uncompromising tone. So Boucher was born in blah blah blah, educated blah blah blah. He was well versed in science fiction literature. His first contribution, The Face of Evil, one of my favorite. I think that is one of my favorite stories of all time. Has a bold concept: a misprogrammed spaceship computer that thinks it's God, and so embarks on an exercise in eugenics involving a stranded crew. It is brilliant, right? That is absolutely. It's such a crazy idea, right? Really, really, and there's so much about it that really works. Was it the story? The story originally titled "The Day God Went Mad," a tad strong for the BBC. Also introduced new companion for Tom Baker, instinctive tribal woman Leela, and contains one of the Boucher's greatest lines. The powerful and the very stupid have one thing in common: they don't alter their views to fit the facts; they alter the facts to fit their views. Yes. Again, oh man, is that not the world we live in? So it was immediately hired to next story, Robots of Death, a fusion of Agatha Christie, Isaac Asimov, and Frank Herbert. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It became more than the sum of its parts, thanks to Boucher's sardonic exchanges. It's really worth checking out Curiosity. What's his name? Lonely. Russell Hunter is fantastic. Right, and it's so weird if you know Russell Hunter from Khaled, he's so different. You really see his dramatic range. An incredible actor that I wish I saw more of now. Did you ever see? You never watched Callum, did you?
No, we've spoken about Callum before, and in fact, they had it cheap in the network DVD sale about a week and a half ago, and I was going to. I was going to buy a couple of things, and that was sort of in my basket. And then I came down with that nasty virus last week, and I completely
that would have been perfect to be sick through.
Yeah, I've completely forgot that the sale was ending like 2 days later. So yeah, by the time I got better.
The interesting thing about it, right, is because they most of the first season is in black and white. They don't have those episodes anymore. So the first one you'll see is in color. They have a couple of black and white ones. But if you go straight to the color ones, it's a season 1 opener where he's been, and you have to work out what's going. Basically, he's been held. He's a hitman for the British government, and he's been captured by the Russians and has been held and tortured by them after, I think, killing his boss. And that's the base, and he's being exchanged for another agent.
I've got the original play somewhere.
Was that?
I've got the original Armchair Theatre that it was a spin-off from somewhere on a VHS tape. So I've definitely seen that, but I've never seen anything else from Callum.
Oh, so good. It's such again, intelligently complex script. So let me finish this off. That's fine. So they your classic example of the inverse ratio between the size of the mouse and the size of the brain. Well-drawn characters, well-brooding through dialogue, hard sci-fi concepts, augmented by a strong cast, excellent direction, and striking art deco design. Everything is firing at all cylinders. Season 14, still regarded as among strong. Image of Fendel, not one of my favorites, is a spooky synthesis of modern technology and ancient horror, with some shocking moments, amusing characters. You might think my head zips up at the back. Says one. Although Blake Seven plucked him away from Doctor Who, his work on the show endured. The character robots are featured in their own audience from Big Finish and Magic Bullet Productions. Magic Bullet one being far more successful in my mind, with the original actors playing the parts. Then you're talking about his normal stuff. He worked A Walk in the Dark, both broadcast between 84 and 81. Between 1998 and 2001, he wrote 4 Doctor Who novels. Was a Guardian reading atheist. Yes, we know, who refused to own a mobile phone, not especially comfortable with social situations, but witty correspondent. He remained ambivalent about his own work, cautious about receiving praise for it. Even though he was highly regarded by his peers at the time, he is now admired as an important figure amongst TV historians. So Linda Macklin, she typed up all his scripts that he wrote in longhand. She survives him, as to this. Lovely obituary. Very nice.
My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.